Play just underway in this A-pool game between Slovakia and the United States. George Scott along with Steve Power for this game. Bringing it in is number 90 on the right side. Good defensive play. Ball is cleared out towards the blue line, kept in. Slovakia with it. This is number 21, Milan Ladiver. He'll drop it back. Ladiver follows up on it, loses it at the blue line. Cleared away by the U.S. Titka up at center. Finds Slovak. Cleared in. Penalty's been called early against the United States. Got delayed penalty. Slovakia with the empty net. Got the extra attacker out there. A correction is a penalty against Slovakia. United States with the extra attacker. Liebers, they're slow to move it. They're going to try and maintain possession. Get the ball up ahead. That's intercepted at center, and the whistle goes, and we're going to get the call.
I think we got an elbowing call there, George. Big game on hand here tonight. Needless to say, George, if you're the defending champ, you're probably one of the favorites heading into the event this year. And a lot of talk about this USA team being real serious medal contenders this year as well. So they'll get a chance on the power play. Look for John Ruiz out here to get things going.
So far failed to medal in international ball hockey competition. The ISBHF, but coming to this tournament with a purpose, they go on the power play early. They'll work it along the half wall, just settle things down, throw it in towards the net. Jam play at the side of the net. Cleared away by Slovakia. Out and into the penalty box. The faceoff will come back down to our right. To the right of the Slovak goaltender.
Generally, at this level, the power play is really what separates the men from the boys. Slovakia, Czech Republic, Canada, all noted for the power plays. U.S. really's got to get it going if they want to play with the big boys.
And again, they'll set it over on the side. Steve Gregory. He's got it now down in the corner. Gregory working along the goal line. Tried to feed it out in front. That was cleared away. They'll stay on it. U.S. maintain possession. Back at center for Hildreth. And along the boards. Comes back to Hildreth. Throws it towards the net, looking for the deflection. In there was Schlegel. Ball cleared to the sideboards, kept in over there by Ruiz. Ruiz with a shot, that's deflected well wide of the net. Gregory follows up on it. Gregory feeds it back. Move it across, couldn't get the one-timer away. Hildreth threw it in front, right for the slot, they score!
And we just said it, the power play is a key. Andrew Hildreth, the quarterback of this American power play. And just what you saw there, they tried to low jam play a couple of times. What did he do? They take their centerman, pop him out in the high slot, and that's who Hildreth finds. Turns around, puts it home. Great start here for the USA.
Denny Schlegel, 28 with the goal for the United States, and they get a, as you say, a great start early in this game. 2 minutes, 34 seconds into the first period on the power play. A good crowd on hand here at the Bussard Arena. Flooring is the call. Come back down to our left. We talked earlier, Steve, about how the city of Zug and citizens have embraced this tournament. We've had good turnouts for all the games and all the other events surrounding the tournament as well.
Absolutely. You got to think Slovakia versus USA, you know, how many people will show up? But there's a few hundred people here for sure.
Ball in the corner. Collision over there, comes up along the near side out towards the blue line. Played down. Blahut behind his own net, gets knocked down. Ball comes loose and Slovakia come up with it. Flip it out towards center. Picked off there by Liebers, who play it back in. Hustling into the corner is Haynes for the U.S. Haynes comes away with the ball. Threw through the slot area, goes over into the far corner, picked up over there by Sullivan. Sullivan cycles it back down low. Sullivan again along the far boards, back in behind the net. Petito is back there for the U.S. Petito has it. To the near corner. Pressure here by the States early.
One thing you mentioned earlier, George, about the U.S. not meddling, not saying it was the reason, but part of the factor could be experience. This is a very experienced U.S. team here this year. A lot of these guys played back in St. John's in 2013, so they would have gained some valuable experience at this event, which will serve them well going forward. And a big test. I don't know if you want to play Slovakia right away or do you want to get your feet wet. Either way, you do what you got to do, and this is going to be a great game.
Well, the road to a championship always goes through the current champs. That's Slovakia, so the U.S. might as well get them now as get them anytime. Petito down into the corner. They've got to be happy with the start they've had. They've had the pressure on Slovakia. Most of the play has been down to our right. This is Titka. He'll leave it back there for Budic. Along the boards. Now they'll move it out.
Real tough division to be noted. This A pool featuring Slovakia, U.S., Portugal, and Finland.
Good teams all.
Tell you what, I don't know what to expect out of Finland, but those other three teams, very, very quality hockey clubs.
Dump down the floor. Flooring is the call. Not much offense from Slovakia. They had to kill that penalty and were unable to do so, but not much happening offensively for the Slovaks.
I guarantee you Slovakia are going to be okay. This is just the way they start. And even in the last game, you weren't here. The Czechs, they sit back, they sit back, they sit back. They wait, and all of a sudden they pounce. And that's what the Slovakia team will do. They're just going to get their feet wet. They know what they're doing. This is a veteran club, and they're not world champions for nothing.
Dump it back in. Dougherty got it up ahead for Schlegel. Schlegel with a shot. That ball bounces high in the air. Everybody reaching for it. It's loose in amongst a bunch of legs. Backhand shot goes wide of the net. Again, the States get to it first. Schlegel along the boards. Still not out. U.S. keeping in a bat at it. The ball bouncing around. Schlegel plays it across. Here's a slap shot. That was blocked. Nice play by McKeska as he came sliding out to block that one for Slovakia. The States looking to add to their lead. Long shot from the blue line held by Petrick. And he'll hold on. No rebound that time.
Great feeler for both of these teams to get each other first out of the way. But as we see before, teams in these short-term events, these one-week-long tournaments, it's always never the team that's the best in the beginning. It's who's the best at the end. And we're about a week away from finding that out, but a great measuring stick nonetheless for these two teams here tonight.
Face off in the Slovak end of the arena. Slovak player waved out, coming in to take it was Bravic. Slovaks get to it, can't get it out. That shot went off a stick high in the air. Controlled by Slovakia, but again, can't get it out. Now they'll get control of it. Cross-four pass for Ovechka. Orovech still looking for it. Referee's arm has gone up. It's going to be another penalty here, Steve.
U.S. defenseman going to go off for holding. Slovakia player put the ball behind him, and the defenseman didn't turn to play the ball at all. He just rolled the body out on the boards. Once again, a game of special teams at the elite level, and make no mistake, this is the elite level of ball hockey. The world's best are here this week in Switzerland. I've been saying it all day. It's the real deal here. Now we're going to see what the U.S. are made of early here. Power plays and penalty kills, so important at elite ball hockey level.
Well, the United States made good on their power play. We'll see what Slovakia can do with their first opportunity. And they will control it from the face-off. They'll settle it down over on the far side. This is number 9. His shot, Slovak, went wide. Then it bounces off the end boards. They put it in. Quick.
Something to be noted there, the Slovaks right away they score, but unlike most teams you'll see, most teams use the entire half floor on the power play. Slovakia like to set it up from the blue line in. Their defenseman isn't out past the blue line. He's at the blue line, and we saw it on the shot. Maybe a little lucky, got to bounce off the boards, but hey, you got to be good to be lucky sometimes. Slovakia tie it up.
Well, I've talked about it in the last couple of days, how much more the ball will bounce as opposed to a puck in ice hockey. Those shots coming off the end boards, very dangerous for goaltenders. The ball comes off much faster, comes back out in front. Shots that go wide, goaltender can't relax on it. You know it's going to come back out in front.
And more often than not, they're set plays by the good teams. They practice that when they practice the power play.
No question that times the defenseman back at the point will shoot it wide just to get the ball back out in front. There's no clear lane right on net. Put it off the boards. It's going to come back out in front, create havoc.
Shot blocking a lot more prevalent in ball hockey than ice hockey. It hurts, trust me, folks. I know it hurts. But
speaking from experience.
Yeah, absolutely. But it doesn't break bones like a puck can sometimes. So.
I went to the World Championship, a little sting. You'll take that if you block a shot. So we're tied 1 goal apiece, a couple of power play goals. So we're on serve here in this game between Slovakia and the United States. States with a little more pressure down low. Can't get anything towards the net though. Cleared out, good stretch pass off the boards. I'll use that, Springer guy free, pass out in front, a sprawling defensive play, but Slovakia stay with it. Slovakia player hard into the boards. No call on that. Matt Caron will bring, will bring it out for the U.S. His pass misses everybody, and Flooring will be the call. We'll come back down to our left. Great long pass that time by Slovakia. Springer guy over on the right side, but couldn't convert it into a good shot on goal. Face-off will be to the left of U.S. goaltender Jonathan Rethage.
USA carrying the full contingent here. At the A-pool level, George, you see rosters are generally full. Some of the B-pool teams, they'll carry 3 lines, maybe 4 lines if they're lucky. These guys are carrying the full 22 runners and 3 goaltenders. A little nuance to ball hockey as opposed to ice hockey. 3 goalies, 2 of them on the bench during the game.
And normally you have 3 goaltenders. One is not dressed the way you would normally see it. The other one is simply a backup in case of an injury or to play later in the tournament.
Sometimes you need it, especially in ball hockey, a summer sport. I remember last year at the World Junior Championships in Slovakia, the temperature reached about 45 degrees Celsius. So you could have used probably 8 goalies.
With all that goalie gear on, that can't be good for you. All right, here's Slovakia. You mentioned they'd be settling down and getting things going. Got that power play goal, and now they've got control of it. Working inside the blue line. That was Lederer. Lederer lost it and was taken away by the U.S. Can't get it out, though. Kept in. Long shot. Well wide of the net. Taken there by McKeska. U.S. come up with it. Up at center. They'll take it. They'll just dump it in, and U.S. will take that as a cue to make a wholesale change. Cashier for Slovakia. Up ahead to Titka. Rampacek. Over to Martinyusuk. Out in front, wrap around on the backhand, turns to get it to his forehand. Shot right on net. Went between the pads, but went wide. Nets come loose. Great move that time by number 55, Martin Kohler. Looked like he was going to take the backhand, put it on his forehand, and slipped it between the pads.
Got to think the U.S. goalie a little fortunate there. And fortunate the net got knocked off as Slovakia putting some pressure on, and you see it all the time. Good teams, they find a way.
Hauser to take the face-off against Kohler. Goes to the boards, controlled by the U.S. They'll play it back into the corner. Liebers is back there. That got past Kasher. Kache for Slovakia. But they'll control it. Number 24, Rampacek. Rampacek to the blue line. Hauser has it for the U.S. Hauser trying to cut through center. Pass didn't get to him. Picked up by Kache. Kohler for Slovakia. Along the boards. Tried to get it up ahead to Oravec. He was stopped. Slovakia having trouble getting out of their own end right now, but now they'll bring it out. Oravec into the corner. Watched down there by Karan. U.S. come up with it, but they're going to get nailed with another penalty. Tripping call, and Slovakia chance to take the lead. They'll go back on the power play.
One thing you mentioned about the having trouble coming out of your own end. High-end ball hockey teams, they really, all the talk these days in ice hockey is the neutral zone trap. I tell you what, they trap everywhere in ball hockey. Doesn't matter what zone you're in, they do a real good job of, you think the middle is open, and all of a sudden it's sealed up, the in is closed, and the turnover, once again, even though in ice hockey you get the ball outside the blue, no big deal. In ball hockey, you turn it over there, that's a scoring chance.
Yeah, it's got to come all the way over the red line, so a lot further to go with it.
So it's easier to trap. That's why teams do it.
Already you can see the positional play of both teams advanced of some of the games we've seen earlier.
Great pass.
Slovak got it in, shot right on net by Titka. And very impressed with Marek Slovak, number 9 for Slovakia, early in this game.
You should be. He's one of the best in the world.
I can spot him. This Sidney Crosby guy, I've noticed he's pretty good too.
Yeah, he probably plays ball hockey too.
It goes into the U.S. bench. Face-off will be in the U.S. end of the floor.
Little discussion going on the floor down there. Andrew Hildreth asking one of the Slovak players what his favorite McDonald's burger is, I'm sure. Probably not talking about anything untoward.
Should get together after a few pushes and shoves and discuss what they're going to have for a late night meal. Kohler is going to get waved out of the face-off circle. Coming in to take it will be Rampacek. Ball in behind the net, taken away by the Slovaks. Rampacek behind the net. Ball bounces. Rampacek does a good job to control it. He'll hold it down low along the goal line.
Once again, real interesting to see how the Slovaks really, they don't use the space given to them. They go blue line in for the power play here.
Yeah, it looks like they say an ice hockey type power play. They'll control it. They managed to keep it in. Mikeska is looking for it. He wants to wind up. Didn't get a lot on that, but they'll maintain possession off the end boards. Kache back to Mikeska.
And now they open up, and that brings the point into it. That brings the point as a point of attack.
Mikeska. Pass was picked off, came right back to him. Long shot, right in on net, saved by Verthage. And cleared down the floor by the United States. Quick pass up ahead by the goaltender, Patrick. They'll try and relay it in, but that was picked off the blue line and played back in. That'll pretty much do it. Just a couple of ticks on the clock left on the power play. Penalized player back on the ice. That's one. I always keep count.
That's because I'm here.
I try and keep it to 3 per game. I had 3 in the last one. Kept it under control. So we're back to 5-on-5. Gregory tried to get it out in front, went behind the net. Battling back there is Josh Merchant. Merchant trying to work his way out in front. Got it. Good shot away as he turned. Got it on the forehand. And a good save by Stanislav Patrick. Olaturno for the U.S. got back. Better move it quickly. Someone's going to be on you. Good backhanded in. U.S. will make wholesale changes. And Just as that happens, it's going to be a penalty hooking call going against Oravecha from Slovakia. So U.S. will go back on the power play.
One of the things the U.S. are going to want to do here, and you won't see him dump the ball anywhere near the net. You mentioned the name Petric in goal for the Slovakia team. One of the best ball handlers in the world as far as a goalie, and a tough skill to handle that ball as a goaltender.
U.S. win it right off the faceoff. Shot came in. A good blocker saved by Petric. Hildreth is the trigger man for the United States. Got away a good shot that time. Hildreth has it again. He's directing traffic out there. Down low for Gregory. Gregory working it up along the wall. Come cross forward. Shot right on net. Rebound cleared to the corner. Out in front, diving out for it is Patrick, and he'll hang on to it. No rebound. We'll get a face-off with 1:29 left to go in the power play.
U.S. there with 4 right-handed shots on the floor there, and I noticed they were moving Ruiz to the other side, and that's not his side. So a little coaching adjustment more than likely going to be made there. Maybe it was just something with the last line change. And we see a little difference here now. More traditional 2 rights and a left up front.
Hauser comes in to take the face-off for the U.S. They control it. Back at the blue line is Sullivan. Down low for Hauser. Hauser, from a sharp angle, he'll shoot it low. Good save by Patrick. U.S. being forced back towards that center line, and now it's cleared down the floor. Still 1:05 left to go in the power play. They'll try and gain the zone again. They do. They'll backhand it in, but that one out of play. Went into the U.S. bench a little bit too high. Tried to flick it along the boards.
Looking for a little too pretty, I think. George throwing the ball around. Someone's got to decide to release that to the net. They've got the good shots out there, the U.S. does. Maybe they're looking for that real pretty goal they got first, but hey, if it ain't there, never a bad idea to shoot the ball.
Anything on net is a good idea. Denny Schlegel. That's our goal scorer, Schlegel. Across to Sullivan. Wilson plays it back to Sullivan. Schlegel. Thinking about it, he lets it fly. Comes off that end board. Similar play to the way the Slovakians scored a moment ago. That just failed to connect. Hauser behind the net. Hauser setting up on the half wall. Looking around. Back at the point with Sullivan looking for it. They'll get it down in low. They'll try and jam it out in front. Patrick's got it, and he'll hang on, and we'll get a bit of extracurricular.
Great battle in front of the net there between number 44 and the Slovak defenseman. 2 of them give and take. No retreat, no surrender in front of the net. Good job by the officials, too. Sticks were down. Wasn't too rough. Guys just battling hard for position, so good job by the officials so far in this game here tonight.
Still 19 seconds left to go in the penalty to Slovakia. So still time for the U.S. to go to work. Jonathan Ruiz in to take the face-off. Won it cleanly, easily. Back of the point. Shot. That just missed.
Johnny Ruiz do not lose very many face-off. And to be honest, I'm surprised Andrew Hildreth missed the net there. He's pretty much money in the bank from the point, too.
You can't win one much more cleanly than that. That'll do it. Penalized players back out, so we are 5-on-5. The U.S. going to be deliberate in their setup here. Long pass taken off the boards by Ruiz. Tried to catch it off his back. What a play by Ruiz. Ruiz in all along, goes to the backhand. Patrick poke checked him. Whoa. Came out in front. But what a move by Ruiz coming off the boards. Caught it, flipped it behind his back, got it, then spun around again and found himself alone in front of the goaltender.
You can tell both teams starting to have a little chat with each other every whistle now. I'm telling you, this is going to be nasty before the night's over.
I think the referee wants to have a talk with the 2 captains. Well, not even captains, just the captain for Slovakia and one of the players from the U.S.
And when I say nasty, I don't mean fighting. I just mean tough, aggressive. I should correct myself there.
Yeah, right after the referee spoke to both teams, two players, Haynes for the U.S. and that's Libor Tilipski.
I'm sorry, Mr. Haynes. You're not going to intimidate this guy. It's not going to happen.
Thought the referee might send them both off after having that talk, and then they come back and shove each other. Time runs out here in the first period. All right, welcome back to Zug, Switzerland, inside the Bossard Arena. Period number 2 getting underway between Slovakia and the United States. Game all tied at 1. Pair of power play goals, one for each team in the first period. That's where things stand after 15 minutes of play. USA controlling it here early. Kept in by Hildreth. Ball goes high in the air, in around behind the net. USA get to it first, circling the net, dropping it back. They'll run that cycle play. Here's Bobby Hauser. Over to the far side, battling for it over there was Titka. Won the battle, got the ball to the near side, but not out. Ladiver was checked right away, so he tried to move it. Slovakian player knocked down, and that's going to be a penalty to the United States. Delayed penalty, goaltender heading to the bench. They'll wait now and get that 6th attacker out there. And they'll go to work here on the delayed penalty. Ladiver. Very deliberate. Slovak. Up ahead was looking to get it to Cernovic. The pass missed. Ball went in, touched up, and Slovakia will go on the power play. Early, 1 minute, 11 seconds into the second period. It's going to be number 3, Jim Doherty, going for the United States. So each team with a power play goal. Slovakia will go back to the man advantage. McKeska over on the far side. McKeska setting up back at the blue line. They'll take it down in deep behind the goal. Try to get it out in front. Miscued on that first pass attempt. Now they'll get it along the boards to Martinsuk. Shot came from McKeska, went wide. Slovakia on the rebound. Gets it to Martinisuk. Behind that, out in front. Ball bounced and batted out of the air. Good hand-eye coordination there. Knocked that down the floor. Rampacek setting up. Low gets it out in the slot. Quick shot. That just was wired wide by Martinisuk. As he was set up beautifully in the high slot. Thrown back in by McKeska. Kohler. Back down low. Again, Slovakia still here on the power play, being very, very patient. Really had one shot directed towards net. McKeska not going to shoot it from there. Nowhere to put it. Gets it across. That one was right on net. It was deflected. Out of play. The faceoff will stay in the U.S. end of the floor. 2:34 gone here in the second period. 1-1 tie.
I really believe, George, that the Slovakian team is content just to wait for the power play opportunity. It's coming. When you're a good team, you're going to draw penalties. And when you're a good team, you can score in your power play. And that's sort of what they're doing. They're going to find your way early. USA doing a great job. Not many great quality scoring chances, so full credit to them as well.
Big battle down in the corner, right down below us. Comes loose, kept in on a nice play by Daskashil. His shot, that doesn't get through and cleared back down the floor by the United States. The U.S. doing a good job of clogging up the shooting lanes. Slovakia unable to get much directed towards the goal. Now there's a one-man breakthrough, but an errant pass picked off and cleared down the floor. Gained the zone in along the board, stolen. Penalties over. We're back to 5-on-5 again. Good job of a penalty kill that time by the U.S. Kept Slovakia to the outside. Taken there by Moravecchia. He'll dump it in.
And he
To get it is
accidentally, on purpose, kicks the stick about 60 feet.
Oh, it's just his natural running motion.
Yeah.
That's what he'd tell you.
Yes, of course. it
Kaba
is.
for the U.S. couldn't get it. Slovakia will bring it out again. Up at center, good pass. In over the blue line. Another good pass. Two good passes, the outlet and then the attacking pass. And Slovakia gained the zone. Let the U.S. get back, cover it up. Can't get it out though. Slovakia in forechecking. Behind the net and a penalty. Going to send them both. I think one is for the hit, one is maybe for an unsportsmanlike dive.
Well, to be honest, that's
Embellishment?
probably what it should be, but I think he's actually calling him for something. I think he's calling him for roughing.
Okay, I thought when the player got knocked down and he
Let's
pointed
see now.
at both.
Let's see. Holding. And I'm not quite sure what that is, to be honest with you. Head contact, maybe?
One was holding, the other one turned around and hit him in the head.
No,
That's
I saw
best
what
I
you
can
saw.
guess at, yeah.
I saw what you saw. One was holding and one was diving.
You see a player go down like that and the referee points at both. It's
Yeah.
the first thing comes through your mind, but
Back in our neck of the woods, George, that's what we call get up by.
working it off the wall. Shot easy save though by Rethage. He saw that all the way. No traffic in front at all. Had the angle cut down.
And to get away for 1 second, it is good to see that call early in the week. That puts the players on notice.
Here's a
go ahead.
breakaway chance for the United States. Diving out to make the save was
We're gonna penalty
Petrick.
shot. We're going to penalty shot here. I'd be very surprised if there's not.
They called a penalty shot.
Yep.
That was Milan Benic who came up with it. And number 23 for the 24 for the 23 for the U.S. Sorry, Steve Gregory.
He was in all alone. I mean,
it was
that
Steve
had
Gregory.
to be called. Now you might debate should it have been a penalty at all. If you're a fan of Slovak, you might question that. But once that call is made, it's got to be a penalty shot. And I think they're going to have Bobby Hauser take the shot here. I'm not quite sure on that. I thought the player upended would have to take it. Might be a different thing in ball hockey.
Actually, Schlegel taking the penalty shot, swings wide. Never did get a shot away as
Good job by the goaltender.
Petrick just outweighted him. Good move, and Schlegel gives the goaltender a little tap as he goes by.
And that'll be a shot to the teeth later on this week at some point. I'm not the most
Bring it on old school,
I'm not
hey?
the most sportsmanlike broadcaster, George. You'll take that award here this week. No, it's good to see. I'm kidding, folks. That's great to see. Good sportsmanship there. Never a bad idea to see that. Nice save by Petrick there. Like you say, he just outweighted Schlegel there.
Yeah, Schlegel made a lot of moves, just hoping Petrick might open something up, but no dice. Here's Petrick playing it off the boards.
Jump in here for a
Zimic
second.
trying to get it out, or trying to get it back in. Go ahead, Steve.
Jump in for a second, George. Let anybody know, especially anybody stateside watching the broadcast, you can reach out and be interactive with us. You can get me at Steve Power NL, and all the games George is on, reach out to George at Cats Mike Guy, CATSMIKEGUY. We'd love to hear from you. Tell us the good, the bad, the ugly, or the indifferent. And any shout outs you want to make to any of the players or the coaches, please feel free to give us your comments. We'll get them on for you.
Particularly like hearing from people, letting us know where they're watching the game from, if they have a connection to one of the players, if it's a cousin, a brother, a son, what have you. Of course, daughters, nieces, that sort of thing when we get to the women's game. That'll be starting a little later. It's the last game today. We're back again bright and early tomorrow morning.
Get to the women's side too, George. In the A pool, they battle for playoff position, but it should be noted the women's games tomorrow, the only thing that really matters is first and second.
Yeah, there are no, quarterfinals, semifinals. Every game really counts when you're doing it that way in a round robin. You can't say, well, just need to get into that playoff round. There is no playoff round. They play a round robin, 7 teams, and top 2 advance to the gold medal. The men's will play down to quarters and semis in both the A and B pool. Slovakia heading up the floor. Oravecha, pass across, ball was in the air. Benic tried to knock it out of the air, couldn't make contact with it. Gonna stay with it though, down in the corner. Gets a little bit of help there from Madeira. And a Slovak player took a stick to the face, goes down hard.
That's a good call by the official there. I know the official closest to the play, I just don't think he had the angle to see it. The back official saw it. Great call by the official. Before that happened, George, I want to make a comment on number 77 in Slovakia. Vecha is the name?
Oravecha.
Wow, what a player. That guy can fly. And he's got moves. He's a big, strong lad. Going to be very strong. Going to be interesting to see if this is a 2 or a 4. They've got 2 on the board for now. Wonder if they may change it.
I think I just saw the referee put up 4 fingers, to be honest. Only 2 on the board, but.
And you know something, that was a 4. That was a, yeah, he's cut over the eye. We can see it on the board here. So.
Oh yeah, he is bleeding. Just right up in the eye area. Dangerous.
You might wonder if that's a 5. I know in our neck of the woods it would be. Masha Hockey checking in with us, giving a shout out to number 88 from Atlanta, Chris Haynes of the USA team. A special thank you to Alex Kazora for checking in with us, saying he played deck hockey with Doherty on the USA squad. Bill Domiano, and I apologize, Bill, if I butchered your name, rooting on Dave Montanero and Jim Doherty, specifically on the US team. And Captain Colcord making a shout out to Mike Colcord. So lots of support for the USA on the web, and it's great to see. And folks, by all means, touch base with us. Let us know what you think. And any shout out you want to your USA mates, or just any comments in particular, if they're of the G-rated nature, we'll put them on.
We may get some not G-rated, but we just don't put those on.
I may do that anyway later on as the week goes. Who knows, folks? So try your luck. You might win. Double minor is on the board now.
All right, double minor to number 8, Rick Zimick of the USA. Still a long time getting play underway. They've got to go back to the penalty box. I've noticed that with a number of games we've done. It may be just communication between the on floor and the ones in the doing the scorekeeping and running the clock. Yeah, they're showing now as 4, not 2 twos as they had up there a moment ago. That was the change they made. So Slovakia, 4-minute man advantage. Can they take advantage and take the lead? We're tied at 1. Marinovic. Shot comes in from Slovak, wide. Rebound that time came off the end of the net, so it didn't get back out in front. Came off the back of the net, rather. Marinovic. He'll let it fly, and good positional save that time by Rethage. Not sure he saw it, but head position covered it up.
Might be too early to mention the old turning point of a hockey game, but I tell you what, a U.S. kill on this power play, that would probably be bigger than my belly, and my belly's huge. So that's a big part of this hockey game early on. If the U.S. can kill this off, and if you're Slovakia, I wonder if there's any extra pressure to score one here. Big 3:27 left to go.
Well, you only get so many opportunities. You don't get many like this, a 4-minute power play in any game. And if you don't take advantage of it, mark that one up in the loss column. Marinovic in to take the face-off for Slovakia. Right from the face-off shot came in, and Rethage was quick to make the save. Ball goes out of play over in the penalty box area. Face-off will stay in the U.S. end of the floor.
Tough luck from USA there. Great clearing attempt by defenseman Ball had a mind of its own, riding up the glass.
Ladiver in for Slovakia. Won the faceoff cleanly. A hard shot by Hrinovic. Another save by Rethage. He's come up big here early in this power play for Slovakia. A couple of big saves. Again, the importance of winning the faceoff. It gives you possession, gives you the opportunity to get something going early. Bouncing ball right down to Patrick. Doesn't want to give up the faceoff in his own end with his team on the power play, so drops it, moves it quickly up ahead. Bujik along the boards. Now they'll set things up. They will be patient. We've seen that.
Well, Slovakia will wait. There's not much. They're not going to try to force anything through, especially in the second period here.
His shot may have gone off his stick. Whistle goes. They're going to say, yeah, it did go up and out of play off the defenseman's stick. Face off again will stay in the U.S. end of the floor. The U.S. will change up their penalty killers.
Referee's got to be on the ball here. The netting that
Pardon
covers the ends of the rink is pretty quick. The ball comes off it pretty fast. And with the big crowd, you can't necessarily hear anything. Not that you're going to hear it hitting the net, but you won't hear it hitting the glass. So if you're not on the ball, referees need to be short, especially the back official here. He's got to be watching for that.
Kohler wins the face-off back to McKeska. McKeska faked the shot, faked the pass. Now he'll wind up, didn't fake that one, went wide. Slovakia on the rebound, out in front, ball bouncing around, pinballing around, and cleared away by the U.S., but they don't get it out. McKeska to Martinezuk. Martinezuk working along the wall, back to McKeska. Over on the far side. Rampacek. Down low, Rampacek again, back to McKeska at the blue line. Can't pull the trigger. Now we'll try the one-timer. McKeska let it go. That went off somebody in front wide. Again, it went up out of play. Everybody pointing at each other, say, went off him, not me, to determine where the face-off would be.
Slovak working the ball on the left side. Need to realize it's not the right side to work it on. All their big shots are from the other side of the rink, and they, at the last moment, moved it over to the right. A little too late then, though. And same thing here now. They've got big number 19, the right-handed shot set up on the point. So they need to keep that ball on the right side of the rink to set up those one-time opportunities.
Daskashil. Daskashil. To Oravecchia. Out in front, right into the slot. What a save by Rethage as he got the pad down.
And once again, we see it. The guy's not on his one-time side there. They're sort of out of position. They need a right-handed shot on that left side.
Good work over there by Ecker to hold it in. Into the slot, and the bouncing ball, and Madeira didn't get much on that at all. Daskashil. Shot off the end boards. Again, they'll get to the rebound. Oravecchia, Daskashil.
Slovaks got away with one there.
Less than a minute to go now in this power play. They've had a 4-minute power play. Daskashil, his shot. That was blocked up high. Rolls harmlessly to the boards. Into the corner they go. On it first is Madeira. Back to Daskashil. Daskashil. Awkward attempt at a one-timer there as he turned around and fired it wide of the net. Big collision. Two players collide.
Body contact penalty there, and that ball, every bit of it. And what do you think over in the European leagues at time, Bill, George, they do play with some moderate body contact. It's part of the rules.
It kind of looked like two guys heading in the same direction. One guy was bigger than the other. One went down, and bigger guy gets the penalty.
We're being told Chris Haynes of the American team, George, has been playing adult ball hockey since he was 13 with his dad, so That's a ton of experience at the level there. Unless Mr. Haynes happens to be only 15 or 16
I was going
right
to say,
now.
that doesn't mean much if he's 14 now. But yeah, obviously an experienced guy, been around the game a long time.
And this USA team, apparently they play in the Murraysville Sports Zone. Bill Damiano checking in and letting us know that. So great to have the information on these teams. We don't get much background information. As you can all appreciate, the teams are from all over the world. So we're reaching out to these guys. Any information we can get and use on the webcast, we're only too glad to pass it on. One thing we will ask you, though, let's make sure it's the truth. We can't fact check here on the fly. So anyway, it's once again great for people to reach out, be a part of it. Hope you're enjoying it. A great hockey game here tonight in Switzerland.
Slight delays. We get the penalties straightened out. They're showing the penalties come off the board for the U.S., but he's still in the box. There we go. They've got it back up there. 16 seconds left in that. 2 minutes on the board for Slovakia. Orovec has gone off, so 4-on-4 briefly. Out at center, Colcourt. They don't gain the blue line. Schlegel now gets it down low for Hauser. The USA chant goes up. So the United States now on the power play. Hauser in behind the net. Watch back there by Danko. Hauser working along the half wall. Danko took it away from him. Hauser took it right back.
What a momentum change this will be if the U.S. can strike on this power play after killing off that big 4-minute penalty.
Rimsky with the good defensive play that time to come up with it and clear it down the floor. Gain the zone, bring it back out. Here's number 14, Colcourt. Colcourt passed it back, and Sullivan had to be quick just to keep it onside. Schlegel down in the corner, doing good work. Schlegel takes a high stick. The referee did catch it, the back official. So it's going to be, I almost wonder if they want to give up the ball now
Absolutely.
and get the two-man advantage.
Then again, tough to give it up when you're in the slot. Now you might want to think of it, though.
The shot doesn't get through. Academic. Actually, I think the U.S. defenseman was telling his teammates, guys, we should have given up the ball there.
Yeah.
So now it's a two-man advantage. Yeah, well, just as I was saying, they should probably give it the ball. It did come right out in front. The guy had it on his stick and had a chance to snipe one, and yeah, you don't do it then.
So the U.S. coming out with the big guns up front. Haynes, Schlegel, and Ruiz. Hauser's probably going to play on the point with Hildreth. There'll be some combination of those five for sure. 46 seconds in this 5-on-3. And as much as momentum and potential was on the side of the Slovak earlier, U.S. has a chance to take and run now.
And they win the faceoff, that all-important faceoff to get control of it. Chance to set up. We'll take it behind that. Now we're going to get crease violation. This U.S. player in the goal crease, so that's going to stop playing. The faceoff will come outside the blue line.
You can see that coming too. The Slovakian defenseman had position on the American forward. And the American just didn't want that to be. He decided he was going to push his way in. Good call by the official there. Face-off comes outside. No harm, no foul.
Still 34 seconds left to go in the first penalty. That's how long the United States have on the 5-on-3. This time Slovakia, they won the face-off, would have went right into the Slovakian bench. So a chance to kill some time there, but instead we're just going to drop the ball again right where we just did it. Bit of a light moment there. The referee went to toss the ball to the other referee to drop the face-off, and it hit the USA player right in the helmet. Ricocheted right to the referee who caught it. A little oops. Sorry about that, guy. Hauser. Back at the blue line. Cross. Schlegel shot.
Too slow. Ball's got to be moved quicker for that to work.
Cross crease passing, sliding out. Patrick diving, got a glove on it. Didn't hear the whistle through all that. but the play is stopped.
That was a great save, George.
It was.
That was a great save. You made that sound like that was average.
Yeah, it was okay. I wasn't sure how much they got on the ball in the shot.
How did he stop that?
It looked like he kind of fanned on it. The ball kind of fluttered in, but yeah, he came diving across.
You mustn't be a card-carrying member of the goalie union for sure, because that was some save.
Oh, as a goalie, that's just routine. Actually, I may get kicked out of the goaltenders union for not hyping that one up a little more.
There you go.
U.S. control it. Down to a one-man advantage now for the next minute and 5 seconds. Schlegel looking for it. He's got it. Hammers it. Tipped in front. It was up and out of play.
That's the shot you want. The quick pass and the quick release. In ball hockey, that's the key. Getting those one-timers is important, but it's no good if the ball just rolls slowly over. Goaltender can set, and these goaltenders are really good. Referee trying to get the Slovaks to change a little quicker. Not having much success. There don't seem to be any hurry. They're not in a hurry to get to the drive-through before it closes tonight for sure.
Should be in a hurry, you know. Most of the restaurants close at 10 o'clock here in Lug, as we discovered, or Zug rather.
Yeah, I wasn't too happy last night with that, George.
You had to go with that huge dish of ice cream. Had to settle for that.
It was great.
One-timer
Nice
there. That
save.
was quick, and that was a great save by Patrick.
Okay, you're back in the club.
All right, here we go. Back in the union.
This Patrick is one of the best in the world. He really is. This guy can play. I remember him before. And he's showing us right now, U.S. getting some quality scoring chances.
Well, you were in St. John's for the 2013. Was he, Patrick, their starting goaltender when they won the World Championship then?
I believe so.
Didn't get to that tournament, even though it was in St. John's. But happy to be here in Zug for sure.
Pretty good. You can't get to St. John's, but you can get to Zug. Go figure.
Well, I've been to St. John's. I'll take the trip to
There you
Zug.
go.
Once or twice I've been to St. John's. Schlegel down low. There's a one-timer. They score from a sharp angle. And again, it was quick, and that was the difference. You're dead on, Steve.
And Patrick was there. Patrick was actually there. He got a piece of it. I don't know how he got there. Unfortunately, it just hit off him and went up under the bar. But that is the real deal there. A quick pass across, one-timer. And these guys aren't the best in the world for nothing. U.S. strike on the power play here late in the second period. Real nice feed there. I'm sure we'll get the announcement in a second.
And it was Ruiz set up there on the left side. Got away a quick shot. Yeah, Patrick was over there, but didn't really get set. There was a little bit of room. Looked like on the short side. Somehow Ruiz saw it. That's one of those ones that 90% of the time may hit the goalie. There's so little room, but Ruiz found the opening.
Goal scorer scored that goal.
Yeah, that's a
John
goal.
Ruiz,
that's a goal scorer's goal.
John Ruiz is a goal scorer. Those guys scored that goal. Guys like me, we rattled that off the glass or up in the netting or something, but guys like John Ruiz, they score.
Yeah, I got him ducking in the stands if I get that opportunity.
Yeah.
So on a power play goal, the United States take a 2-1 lead over Slovakia. A couple of power play goals. The U.S. power play goal for Slovakia. Even strength. Neither team able to get a whole lot going. It's all been power plays. You said at this level, power plays separate the men from the boys. That's where you get your chances. Either make them or you don't. And you mentioned earlier too, Steve, that 4-minute power play that Slovakia had failed to capitalize on it. The States come back, get a power play.
The U.S. fed off that. There's no doubt that was a huge penalty kill. Fortunate enough to get their own power play.
And here they come again. They'll keep it in at the blue line. Big battle over there. Player knocked down. Liebers did a good job there for the U.S. to outmuscle his man. Wilson over to the far boards. Hustling over there first is Moliterno. The U.S. now with a lot of jump. They've got a lot of pressure on Slovakia. They've taken the game over a little bit here.
5 out of 5. They're the better team right now.
Late in this second period. They jam it at the front again. That just poked wide by Haynes, who had a chance. Slovak player hit hard down in the corner. It's going to be a penalty to the U.S.
Actually, the Slovak player initiated the contact. The Slovak player pushed the United States player. I guess he must have came back with his stick or something.
It's Ivan Schulte.
I love to see a replay of that one.
Schulte. The extra T in there. The U.S. will get the penalty. And it will be number 88, Chris Haynes. A minute 22 seconds left to go here in the second period. 2-1 lead in favor of the United States. They're sending another player to the penalty box, Tyler Kaba. Only a 2-minute power play. Now we're going to get a discussion. As often happens after penalties, the referee has to go over, explain it to the United States, explain it to the other referee. Now we're set to go. So you still want to discuss it a little bit more.
I don't blame him.
That's Sullivan saying just what's happening here.
Yeah, I
to see why the second player's gone to the box.
Misconduct. He gave him a 10-minute misconduct.
It must be a misconduct situation.
Oh, he did. He gave him, I saw him give him a 10-minute misconduct.
Okay.
I'm just wondering around the original penalty. Big chance
Shot
for
from the
Slovaks
point.
here, George.
Saved there by Rethage.
Here's your even up call right there. Didn't take long. One official makes the call on the other end. The other guy, we'll just get him back to 4-on-4.
I didn't like the call you made.
So
Like that old commercial used to come on, the football referee, when he's making the announcement. I made some really bad calls in the first half. I'll make some for the other team to make up for it in the second half.
I don't want to use the word bad calls for the officials because, I mean, hey, tough job. It happens so fast. So I won't say they're bad calls at all.
Everything is judgment. So
I'll just say the last one, I didn't see it. So I tell you what, I'm about 100 feet up in the air and 300 feet away. He's about 30 feet from it. I'll go with his judgment there. He probably saw it better.
Had a better look. So we're 4-on-4 now. That'll even things up. That ball wasn't dropped fairly. We're going to do that again. And to a minute 7 left to go in the second period. Schlegel in to take the face-off for the U.S. Won it cleanly, but right between the two defensemen. So hustling back into his own end to get it is Mike Colcord. And in on him quickly was Yaroslav Martinusuk. Slovakia came up with, here's Martinusuk. Plays it back across. McKeska. Dump it in. Down into the corner. Slovakia behind the net. Backhand, that one off a stick up into the mesh. One off the U.S. defenseman, and face-off will stay down to the right of goaltender Jonathan Rethage.
Last minute of play this period, George. You got to think the U.S. would just love to hang on here and bring that lead into the second. Not much urgency yet. I mean, still lots of time here. But I think you made the comment, aside from one or two U.S. shifts, not a whole lot happened offensively 5-on-5 for either team.
Well, 5-on-5, they say the positional play is such that nobody really is going to get many good scoring opportunities. If somebody makes a mistake somewhere, we haven't seen much of that.
There's my guy, 77, causing trouble again.
Oravecha again, yeah. Coming out from in back of the net, get the backhand away. They'll put it towards the net again. Look for that loose ball, but it's taken away by the U.S. They'll bring it out. Ruiz again, his shot. That one off the stick of Minarek, the Slovakian defenseman. And with that, the buzzer goes as the ball comes out into... All right, set to get underway. 15 minutes left to determine the winner of this game. This one will set the tone for the remainder of the championship between these two teams, see where they stand. The United States coming into this having never won a medal at international competition, the ISBHF World Championships. High hopes this year. They've loaded up. Steve Gregory for the U.S. He'll dump it in. Getting to it first is the U.S. player. They'll maintain possession. They're on the power play as we start this third period. Ball goes into the corner. Well, they are on the power play now as the player comes out of the penalty box for the U.S. It started 4-on-4, but now they're on the power play for another 8 seconds, briefly. Both teams will make some changes. Fresh legs over the boards. Just 45 seconds into the third period. Hausert in to take the face-off for the U.S. Won by Kohler into the corner. Rampacek trying to work it up the right side. Rampacek just bats it in with his hand, then gives chase. Chris Liebers gets there for the U.S. Liebers behind his own net. Up at the blue line, out into center. Ball taken there and brought back in by the Slovaks. Never did get out over the red line. Rampacek plays it back in over in the far side. Hustling there is Martinezuk. Hauser for the U.S. Hauser takes it off the boards. Dangerous, almost gave it away. Slovakia keep it in. Shot high. Rampage made the save, but on the rebound, Slovakia puts it home, and we've got a tie game. Number 46, Yaroslav Martinezuk. Rathage made the save, got the glove hand up, but didn't control the ball. It dropped at his feet. And Martinezuk makes it a 2-2 tie. Rathage not real happy with himself on that. It wasn't a tough shot, came in high. He got the glove up on it, but it popped out of that big trapper. And Slovakia have tied the game. So we start fresh again, 2-2 tie. Just a minute, 29 seconds into the third period. USA trying to work the ball up along the right side. Touch somebody on the USA bench. So the face-off will take place just outside the blue line. Madeira taking the face-off for Slovakia. Played over to the far side by Minarek. U.S. turned over, bring it out. 3-on-2 here for the United States. In over the blue line, but negated by an offside call over on the left side. Player just a little bit too anxious in over the blue line first. Took away a good scoring chance of what was setting up to be one. They had an odd man rush. Again, just like in ice hockey, the ball has to get across the blue line before any of the attacking players. But once you gain the zone, you can then work it all the way back to center. You've got the whole half of the floor to work with, as opposed to just back to the blue line. So it's what they call a floating blue line. Run in by Tabliski. Shot to score! Quick goal, 2 for Slovakia. Tabliski came in off the boards, got away a quick shot, beat Jonathan Rathage, and just like that, 3-2 Slovakia, 2:19 into the third period. 50 seconds apart come the goals. No even strength goals through 2 periods, 2 and 50 seconds by Slovakia. And as Steve Power said earlier, they're not the world champions for nothing. Quick strike offense. Zimic for the U.S. Up at center. Got it to Petito. He lost it. Cutting in front of his own net was Ladiver for Slovakia. The blue line comes back to Ladiver. Up ahead to Slovak. Errant pass at center. U.S. intercept. They'll bring it in. Dumped in. Right on net. Patrick was mentioned he likes to play it. Fanned on it that time. A complete whiff. Got away with it. He dropped it down and tried to pass it up ahead. The ball just sat there. U.S. intercepted at center. They'll bring it back in. This is Zimic. Zimic working along the boards as the U.S. complete a change. Down into the corner. Brought out by Slovakia. Here they come again. Kohler through the middle. That pass was too high for his teammate. He's going to head to the bench. U.S. come up with it. Get it at center, pass to the blue line. That's picked off. Reversed and brought in. There's a quick chance for Slovakia again. What a pass as they turned the ball over. Martinezuk had a great opportunity. He was looking for a penalty on that. Thought he may have had his stick slashed a little bit as he cut in front. What a pass as the ball was intercepted straight up to Martinezuk. Great burst of speed in all alone. That time didn't beat Rithage. That might have been a killer. Slovakia dump it back in. Lieber's back to get it for the U.S. He's being watched by Oravecchia. U.S. get it backhanded in. Hauser goes into the corner. Madeira's on him. Hauser working his way up along the half wall, back towards the blue line. Pass was behind Schlegel. Schlegel takes it in the corner. Works it down low and behind the net. Hopped over the stick of his teammate in behind the net. Hauser's on it again. Madeira all over Hauser over along the far boards and taken away by Slovakia. But behind the play, the referee's going to call a penalty to Madeira for holding as he was working Hauser over along the boards.
Tell you what, George, Slovakia are not the world champions just on their good looks alone. 2 minutes into this third period and bang, bang. Hello, we are here.
Yeah, 50 seconds apart, 2 even strength goals and a great chance right after that. So now the U.S. on their heels a little bit, reeling after those 2 goals. Will go on the power play, chance to settle things down and maybe get themselves even again. Ruiz is out there. Let Slovakia win the face-off. Clear it down the floor. Schlegel. He's met right at center. U.S. gained the zone. Shot from well out. In behind that, they throw it out in front, right in front. Tried to feed it in front. Maybe one pass too many. Had a chance to shoot it. Tried to make a quick pass, but no angle on that. Tough pass. Not much chance of that actually working. Hildreth is back at the blue line. U.S. have it down deep. Schlegel back to Hildreth. His shot. That one off a leg wide. Schlegel from a sharp angle. Patrick made the save. Across Schlegel, if he could have handled that pass, may have had the open net. Ball just hopped on him a little bit. U.S. have it behind the net.
U.S. taking a page out of the Slovakia book.
Schlegel scores!
Just about to say, George, U.S. taking a page out of Slovakia's book, closing the offensive zone. Defenseman inside the blue line, and that Slovakia box was small. And the U.S. really picked the pocket there. Great goal right back in it.
Same play they tried just a moment before that. Schlegel setting up there on the right side. That time the pass was a little bit too hard. The ball hopped on him. He had to go into the corner to retrieve it. Came back to the same play. That one was right on the stick, and he got rid of it in the blink of an eye. No chance for Patrick to get over and cover it that time. So the U.S. bend, don't break. Gave up the 2 quick goals, come back with one of their own. And we're all even once again. U.S. clear it in. Cachet up along the boards. Can't get it out. U.S. dump it back in. Bouncing ball into the corner. McKeska back there for Slovakia. U.S. come up with it. U.S. now beginning to win some battles down low. Taken away by Rampacek. Down the floor. Back to get it is Colcord. Slovakia pinch in. Rampacek. Rampacek gets it out in front. Nobody there. Everybody was down in deep for Slovakia. So the ball comes out. Hackett for the U.S. Haven't called his name much.
Third goal for USA, scored by the number 28, Schlegel Danny, assisted by number 19, Louis Jonathan, and number 18, Gilbert Andrew.
Offside at the blue line.
33.
The reason we haven't called number 89 Hackett's name very often is that he is not on our score sheet. Managed to catch the name in the back of the jersey that time. Penalty coming up, interference call. Penalty will go to the U.S. Dave Moliterno will go to for interference. Power plays have really been the story of this game.
It's going to be at the elite level here. That's what the teams play for. That's what you really think about it. They can't get together. They can't practice all year. I'm speaking for the North American teams only, obviously, but when they do get together, that's what they work on. And I can only assume the Europeans do the same thing.
So Slovakia will set up. Now with the man advantage, Ladiver. Pass across, Slovak. Quick pass, they move it around quickly. Ladiver, shot. Hit a couple of players in front, went to the boards. Slovak keeps it in. Titka, Slovak. Ladiver, big slap shot, wide, off the end boards. Oh, what a save by Rethage!
Wow.
Looked like an open net for Philippe Titka.
Oh, yeah. He's looking skyward now.
And Rethage came diving across. Save of the game right there.
Not sure what the defenseman's talking to the referee about. He might be saying, you just see that save.
Yeah, did you see that? Have you seen a better save than that today?
Wow.
Probably not. I don't know what they're discussing. So for now, Rethage keeps the game tied. Again, won cleanly by Slovakia.
That Slovak forward parked in front of the net.
Ladiver, Slovak, shot right on net. So Rethage, after giving a couple of quick goals, has played very well since.
Number 44 for Slovakia, George. He's parked in front of the net. He's approximately the size of a Mack truck.
Philippe Titka,
wow.
Just the one who had that chance a moment ago.
They're not. You just can't let him get there. Once he gets there, you're not moving him.
And that's where he is now. Set up in front.
Look.
You can see the size of him and the U.S. player. It's quite a differential.
That U.S. defenseman's not small.
He'll move it around. Slovak pass a little bit too hard. Goes into the corner. Taken there by Hrinovic. Back to Ladiver. Ladiver. Slovak. Hrinovic. Try to get it in front for number 72, Roman Bujek.
I got to think, George, Martin Slovak, he's the guy that Team Slovakia wants. They want the ball on his stick. He's the magician out there.
And he's got it now, but mishandled it.
Open mouth, change feet.
Zimic clears it down the floor. Penalties over, so we're at even strength. Slovakia had one incredible chance during that power play. Slovak trying to work some magic to get around the defender, but no luck there. Turned over and Back comes Moravecha. Good defensive play that time by Colcord. Knocked the ball off his stick. Ruiz. Oh, sorry, number 19 for Slovakia. That was Daskusol.
Going to be a slashing call here to Slovak. Knocked the stick on the U.S. hand, and I'm going to say it. That's weak. That's a weak call. U.S. player was leaning in with one hand on the stick, George. Slovak player taps his stick, it flies out of his hand. That is weak.
That was one of the calls you see in ice hockey, too. Drives me nuts.
Yeah.
One guy's stronger than the other. You put your stick on his stick, he drops his stick, and you get a penalty.
I know my new American buddies aren't going to like me for saying that, but you know something? I got to call it like I see it. That's a tough call there.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of that call. Just because someone has their stick knocked out of their hands, it automatically means a penalty, which is how it's called these days.
Yeah, guy got two hands on his stick going for the ball, sure. But you've got one hand and you're reaching like that. Jeez. Okay, if his stick snaps in half, maybe. Anyway.
All right, U.S.
We'll see if the U.S. are going to tighten up.
Back with the man advantage here. Hildreth across. Shots. Easy save that time for Patrick.
Right now, Hildreth is outside the blue line. See if he creeps in, and he's doing it now.
They've got it behind the net. I'll try the jam play at the side of the net, and everybody piles in there, but Patrick's got it, and of course, that's going to bring about a little unpleasantness, as it always does when players gather in the crease after the whistle.
Slovak defenseman just letting the official know you don't appreciate the extra hacks at his goaltender.
The referee says, "Thank you very much for your opinion."
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Now, get back and play.
Thought he was running away from him for a second there. I thought he was going to call a penalty because he took off the center. But I'm with you. He just thanked him for his opinion and politely told him to take a hike. Tie hockey game, got to think a power play is really big at this point, approaching the last 5 minutes of the third.
Cleared down the floor by Slovakia. Out to play it is Jonathan Rathage. Gives it to Schlegel. Schlegel up ahead. Was trying to get it to Hildreth. That didn't work. Slovakia intercepted it. Cleared it down the floor. Here's Schlegel again. Minute 8 left to go in their power play. Now they get it in to chase it quickly is Jim Daughtry. Daughtry gets a big bump, goes falling into the boards. U.S. not happy with that. U.S. bench really upset.
No, that's a good non-call. Both guys came together. We've seen a lot worse than that. In fact, that one just there.
That was another bump right at the blue line. Again, two guys, the ball's in one place. Two guys trying to get to it at the same time. There's going to be collisions. Patrick had to be a little careful with that. Mishandled a little bit. Got trapped between the pads.
If a guy changes his path going towards the ball to initiate contact, yeah, I'm absolutely should be called. That's dangerous. I mean, two guys going together, no one's changed their path. That's part of ball hockey.
So you shouldn't. I'm not saying you don't, because sometimes you do, but you shouldn't get a penalty just because you're maybe a bit bigger and stronger than the other guy.
It happens. It happens. That's, that's the way it goes sometimes. Ask that big guy with Boston, Zdeno Chara. I'm sure he gets a few of them, which I like because I hate the Bruins.
I get no sympathy there. Not a Boston fan like yourself.
Say I hate the Bruins. Maybe I just don't like their hockey club. I shouldn't hate it.
Hate is a strong word.
No hate, that's right. Strongly dislike the hockey club. There we go. Love the people in Boston, don't like the Bruins. There we go.
It's a sports thing. It's not a person thing.
That's right.
Can't take hating a sports team personally.
I'm pretty sure if I was playing against Mom, I'd hate her, so that's the way it goes.
Back of the point.
There's the shot there.
That's the one they were looking for, but Hackett didn't get a lot on that. Now he's got it again. Hackett.
Need to work the ball to the other side, George.
And that's where they're going. Shot. Save made by Patrick.
Now they're on the right side. There it is.
Oh, what a chance. They score on the rebound. Missed on the first one, got it on the second one. Mike Colcord. They've been dangerous with that play. That's the one that Schlegel scored on earlier in the last power play. This time it's Colcord. Fenn on that first chance, missed the open net, but puck that's two. The ball just sat there, and Colcord banged it home. So U.S. recover. Looked like they were reeling, giving up two quick goals. Came into this period leading it 2-1. Gave up 2 goals in 50 seconds to the Slovaks. They took the lead 3-2, and now the Americans have come back. 2 power play goals, one by Schlegel, one by Colcord, and they've regained their lead. We're down to 3:49 left to go.
USA, I've mentioned it on Twitter, threw it out a few seconds ago, George, with some sarcasm saying their power play is okay. 4 power play goals on the day, 2 for the Slovaks, I might add.
Yep. Of the 7 goals, 6 of them have been on the power play.
All 4 USA goals coming on the power play.
So I'm trying to think the two goals by the Slovaks, 50 seconds apart. I think they were both even strength.
Yeah, they might. I thought the first one might have been a power play, but I think I'll go with you.
Yeah. I know you were busy tweeting at the time. We'll check the box score. Academic, however, 4-3 is what really matters.
Captain Colcord checking in with us on Twitter. Clutch play. He says, you know something, in the last 4 minutes of this, absolutely. U.S. now, wonder what tack do they take here? Are they going to keep going? Do they hang on? What do you think, George? Because I think the Slovaks are coming.
Yeah, I'm never in favor of when you get a lead late, trying to sit back and protect it. That becomes a problem. You got to do what got you there.
How was that not a high stick?
It was a late call. Yeah, the back official got it.
The Americans stopped playing there. Slovak player took it there.
As you should. You keep going until you hear that whistle.
Tell you what, the Americans got lucky that the call was made. It was the correct call. It indeed was a high stick. High sticking the ball in ball hockey. Back in Canada is a 2-minute penalty. Here at the World Championships, the play just gets blown dead. And my American friends can let me know what it is in the States, if it's a penalty or not. But here at the ISBHF World Championships, the real World Championships, it is just a blown dead play.
So Slovakia now, under 3 minutes to go, trailing by a goal. They've still got lots of time with their offense. Working it off the boards, backhand. Oh, what a play by big number 77. Your favorite player, Oravecha.
I don't know if he's a favorite of mine.
Well, you mentioned how much you liked him.
He's pretty good.
It looked like he was going to try and come off the boards to his forehand.
Yeah.
Switched it to the backhand. That's what gave him some space. Got away a pretty good shot.
Joe Castle checking in with us, telling us the Buffalo Fusion's own Denny Schlegel looking good. And I think I'm not going to make a Mr. Magoo statement because I'm not blind. Absolutely right, he's looked good. He's looked better than good.
Schlegel's been one of the stars of this game. Back of the point, shot came in. That went off somebody in front, went out of play. They're going to say it went off one of the U.S. players, so the faceoff will stay down deep in the U.S. end.
So my new buddy Bill checks in again and he tells us, yes, high sticking the ball is indeed a penalty in the U.S. So here at the World Championships, just a blown dead play. Back in North America, penalty calls.
Danko, shot blocked off high, gets out of the zone, and Danko's got to hustle all the way back into his own end. Does a good job there as he had Chris Haynes all over him. Now the U.S. will dump it in. Time ticking away here. 2:10 left to go in the third period. In the game, we don't play overtime in the round robin. So however this ends at the end of the third period will be the score. 2 minutes to go.
U.S. got numbers on this rush.
Haynes. Ball goes over to the far side. Players collide over there, and hustling to hold it in is Liebers, but taken away. Slovak.
He's passing.
Cross shot. That just went wide. U.S. had a chance, but a good play there by the Slovakians to turn it over. And here is Slovak turns, took a wild shot at it, and went wide. Now we'll see the Slovaks try and pull out all the stops. See if they can get some pressure on the Americans as we're down to 1:15 to go. Hauser just trying to kill some time now.
Hauser very easily could have just dumped that ball in, but you don't want to give up the ball. Maintain possession, eat the clock.
He had no support with him. Now he'll dump it in. 1 minute remaining. Ladiver for Slovakia. Ladiver with some urgency at center. Slovak tried to make a little tip pass. That didn't work. He's got it again. Slovak. Again, he lost it as he got to the blue line. That'll allow the Americans to bring it out. Yeah, he's been out there a long time now and tired. Patrick doesn't want to give up the face-off, so plays the ball. Here they come. They'll gain the blue line. Shot towards the net. It bounces around, and Merthage comes out and covers up. Number 46, Martinezuk, was racing to the front of the net, trying to look for a loose ball. None coming.
Slovak got his rest in. He just stood up on the American blue line and stood up still. That's his rest. Never need to go to the bench.
Timeout. Now that's how they're going to get him some rest. 26 seconds left to go. Timeout for Slovakia.
So a few people checking in saying high sticking the ball out of the air is a penalty. So I'm assuming it's only like that in North America. I tell you what, though, might check into that after. That being said, you got to think if it wasn't a penalty, the USA team would have been pretty upset.
Now, we've seen a number of high sticks in just the first few games we've done, and it's always just been blown down.
Consistently right calls made.
I don't want to speculate, but I'll go ahead and do it anyway. I'm wondering if it's a move by the International Association to bring him kind of more in line with ice hockey. Keep the rules a little bit closer, make it more familiar to the fans. Again, pure guess on my part.
I think it's more of a safety issue, to be honest with you, in ball hockey.
Well, the safety issue, yeah, okay, go ahead.
Kidding, there's definitely more of an instinct to knock the ball out of the air. And guys at the younger level, I know in minor it's definitely a penalty.
Yeah, the ball does get up in the air a lot more than a hockey puck. But
yes.
And I can see that the penalty is a safety issue because you don't want guys getting their sticks up high. More opportunities to do it. I'm hearing you.
Goaltender pulled here, George. 6 attackers for Team Slovakia.
26 seconds to go.
We're 77. We're Slovak. Neither one of them on the floor for Slovakia.
Down the floor, heading towards the open net, goes wide. That'll be flooring against USA.
Got to tell you from my seat, I have no idea about the personnel on the Slovakia team, but I tell you what, I like to think I know a little bit about hockey, and I'd have 77 and 9 on the floor here now.
A new player comes off the bench, but that's Madeira. He'll come out. Cachet is out there. Rampacek. Titka, the big guy, will go to the front of the net. He's going to try and set a pick right off the face-off. That was his job there.
Americans chance at an empty net here.
Went off a stick wide over in the far side. Time running out. 9 seconds left to go now. One last rush maybe for the Slovaks. Here they come. Got to move it quickly. 2 seconds to go. Around behind the net. Time runs out. Merthage very happy, the goaltender for the USA. About a couple of foot vertical there with all that goalie equipment on. And folks, this is just first game round robin, and it means a lot to these players.
Some people would say, I think the majority of people in the rink here will tell you this is an upset. I tell you what, from what I heard about people in the know, not really the case. They said this game was a coin flip going in. I'll go back to 2 years ago. Slovakia lost to Canada in the round robin by a goal, but a much different Slovakia team by the time the week was over, and these guys will get better. Both teams will, but tell you what, big win for the United States. No matter what people say, no matter if they were perceived an underdog or not, that's a real big win to get them started here.
Yeah, Steve, we only got in Zug yesterday. It seems like a lot longer ago than that. But one of the things we have been hearing, people are talking about this USA team, how they are coming in here. They are looking for a medal. They desperately want a medal, and they expect to get one. And they are a much improved team from everything we're hearing. They're coming here with